really nice day today actually to fly and stuff. It's kind of the ideal lighting and all that. Not too bright, not too dark. Although, what happened in the world today with all the news and stuff? Holy smokes, has the world gone mad? I mean, this first one, I guess is related to all the virus and stuff like that. It says here, there's not a single confirmed case of an Asian infected in NYC. Stop discriminating because the virus definitely doesn't. So apparently it's a video where they're in, I guess, what is it, like a subway or something in New York? And there's a bunch of Asian guys in there, like Chinese. And I suppose this other guy, he basically thinks, I guess, they're all infected with the coronavirus. You can see him, he's freaking out and spraying like what, Febreze on them? Man, talk about ridiculous and ludicrous.
I don't want them under me. Tell them to move. Move.
Fortunately, I didn't meet any crazy people like that yet, but yeah, I guess this virus is making people go crazy. Makes you wonder in this case if the virus is actually like literally the virus itself or the information that people are reading and the way they are digesting and interpreting everything. Then there was this crazy one where it shows like I guess video footage from the streets and stuff of a group of teens or whatever, like a whole gang of them basically mugging, it says basically a girl who has some Air Jordans or something like that. Man, what the heck is wrong with people? In broad daylight too. What gives people the confidence to do that? Holy smokes, like I said, the world's going crazy today, I guess. Maybe it has to do with the cartoons that people grew up with. I used to watch things like X-Men animated. Anyone ever watch that? It's basically about mutants, people who are different that have like these powers and stuff, and then people discriminated against them, trying to pass all these mutant registration laws, I guess, to treat them like prisoners and animals, basically very discriminating. So maybe I just grew up with too much stuff like that, saying things like that are wrong, which kind of makes me think of like the drone stuff. Oh, basically we think all this stuff is dangerous, we need to create registration and all that too. In terms of things like drone registration, actually reading this article got me to think about it just because so many places around the world are treating them like there's some deadly weapon in every case. They need to be tracked and all that. This one says, woman uses drone to look for son's body in Mexico's killing fields. Leticia Hidalgo smears her face with sunscreen and walks steadily across the weedy wasteland she has come to know as one of Mexico's killing fields. Frustrated with the lack of response from authorities, retired school teacher Hidalgo has taken year-long quests for her missing son into her own hands, learning to use a drone to search for the traces of his body. So basically a self-taught individual, and for the most part you can teach yourself how to use this stuff pretty easily overall, I would say. It says Mexico has been overwhelmed by an escalation of narco violence that has left more than 60,000 people missing since 2006. Hidalgo's son, Roy, is one of them, and she believes he could well be here, somewhere beneath the scrubland at her feet in what she calls likely a quote, place of extermination. Roy Rivera was kidnapped the morning of January 11, 2011 by armed men who came to the family home in the northeastern state of Nuevo Leon. Some of them wore police uniforms. He and his brother tried to fend off the men with a knife while Hidalgo called for help from a balcony. She sees that moment as the end of her innocence. So because she's not getting help or anything like that to basically search for the missing person, like they said, she basically taught herself to use the drone to do it herself. It says at 57, Hidalgo has become an expert in drone flying because she has had to. Her plan here is to create an orthomosaic map, a photo representation of the area that provides detailed information and helps identify variations in the surface, such as discolorations, depressions, or small hills, which could indicate the presence of a body. She and Angelica Orozco, a volunteer from the United Forces for Our Disappeared organizations in Nuevo Leon, will later be able to compare the information from the drone with Google Images to gauge recent activity at all sites. Thanks to the drone, the anthropologists will now have a broader, sharper aerial vision. It is not necessary to spend hours, getting sunstroke by walking around. Saucedo says there is evidence that kidnapped gangs had killed their victims and disposed their bodies here. They incinerated their corpse and scattered their remains or buried them in shallow graves. Anything to complicate the efforts to find and identify them. I mean, overall, in my opinion, that should be perfectly fine and actually good that someone's actually using the drone in a way to try to do some good. Like in this case, obviously trying to find a lost loved one for years. But like there, could you imagine if they were restricted in every single way in terms of flying this stuff? Oh man, you're gonna have to pay like, I don't know, $500 worth of training and so forth to learn how to fly this. have some kind of internet connected remote ID, otherwise you won't be able to fly. Like in this case, you're getting no help. There's no danger from what I gather here to manned aircraft. Like why not? I mean, there has to be a huge difference between some huge manned aircraft versus stuff like this that most people can just pick up and start practicing and learning, in my opinion. I still think in many ways this is like playing a video game in terms of learning, and in many ways you can't compare driving a car to learning how to ride a bike. It's completely different in my opinion with all the different types of mechanics and all that. Because it makes me think in I guess funny way, who's crazier? The people in the beginning of the videos, for example, or the regulators creating the stuff that they don't understand?
hear a drone. There it is. Drone and owner identified. Look how fast that is. I don't get it. How people say, oh, all these sightings and stuff like that, and they have trouble identifying. Look how fast this is.
All right, see you guys later.